Welcome to the shack. It's Monday, it's the 5th of August, and it's time to doodle along together again. We're working our way through the alphabet, one letter at a time, here in the shack. And of course, at the moment, we're in K. Well, we're in J for Japan. So we did a really lovely little landscape within a teapot. Do you remember? And then last week we started on K for kimono. So we decided to stay in Japan, but explore a different landscape within the kimono. And that's what we're doing today. So it'd be lovely to have your company if you fancy doodling along with me. I think our friend Paul is in the building with us, so hopefully he can hear me too, and that I hope that the volume is good. Good morning from here in Michigan. Well, Andrea, good morning to you too. It must be very early where you are. Good to have your company. So I'm a little bit tired today because yesterday I was on the TV and it was a full-on show, very busy. We got strapped in traffic again on the way home. So, you know, those long days, those Sundays for that 2-hour block. We leave at like 7:30 in the morning and we got home, I think it was 8:30 last night. That's a long old day, you know. But the general consensus was that people really enjoyed the artwork that we were doing with masks and landscapes and torn bits of paper and sponges, you know, going back to the good old days, really, you know, where I started with the brayer and the brushes are great. So yeah, I think it was an enjoyable day. I think a good, you know, all in all, a very good session. And but it takes its toll on this old bird, you know. It takes its toll. Oh, let me just make sure that my phone is switched off. I can hear it pinging away. I apologize. There we are. That's better. Okay. Sound is nice and clear, says Paul. Good. So while we let our friends find us, here they come. Good to have your company. I thought we'd do something a little bit different today. Having had the landscape session yesterday on TV, I know that we're doing landscapes within the kimono, but I had another idea and I thought maybe I'd show you a trick and see how you feel about this. Because up until now, we've got, oh, a lovely cup of tea. Up until now, what we've done, friends, is we've drawn our kimono, haven't we? So I made a sketch. I looked at my landscape. I put the tree in on this side. I put one of those little houses there. I've got a couple of little people. I put a bridge with a canyon there. And I thought, yeah, nice. And then yesterday I was thinking, and I thought, I've got an idea. How about we add a background? Because the shape is quite easy to mask off. We don't even need a mask to mask off. I mean, one day, if this becomes an outline stamp, which it may well do, okay, like the teapot, then sure, we'll have a mask cut to size. But let's say, for example, we do something a bit different today. Let's have a look. This is what I want to show you. There we are, look. So we've got the shape. I'll show you how to do this. So you transfer the shape, you see. Forget all the design. We can always do that over the top, look. You see? Yeah, exactly. Exactly. So what we could do is do the background with masking tape. What do you think of this idea? I think us shackers should be able to do that quite easily. So you should have your kimono shape. And then what we'll do is, I'll tell you what I've used is stencil card, 8.5 by 11, because it's quite a large design, you see. Be nice for a landscape though, beautiful. I mean, this would make really nice wall art, you know. If we do this really well, you know, it's worth exploring, isn't it? It's worth having a go. I'll tell you what I'm going to use today anyway. I'm going to use this stencil card. I definitely want the mini moons. Okay, I need a moon. And now, so I did these with torn paper, but then I thought, because it works, right? But there's also a set of masks. So you can use torn paper. The disadvantage of torn paper is the sponge that you're going to use with ink doesn't glide on the torn paper. So you have to press quite hard and it can get a bit blotchy. If you use this, you'll find it just slides on. So this particular hill mask is in our scenescapes with mini moons. I'm just saying, if you want to have a go, you could try it with torn paper. It works. But in this scenescape set, we've got clouds. That would be really nice for this. Okay. We've got clouds, we've got the castle, we've got the mini moons, we've got the standard moons with the crescent moon, we've got the hills and mountains, and then we've also got the bunting and the houses. See, these are great for infills. So I'll show you both options and then you can decide what you want to do. But the first thing we need is a piece of, first thing we need to do the job is a piece of this card. Good size, takes the ink, be good, all right? We'll take a piece of that because that's what we're going to transfer the image onto. Okay. That's in the sale, by the way. So we've had this lovely sale on for essentials, and if I'm not mistaken, that card is in the sale. The sale ends at midnight tonight, so don't dither if you want to take advantage. But we'll keep that one out for reference. We need our outline, don't we? Our original outline. So we've got that. We'll put this to one side, and then we'll ignore what we've drawn on the inside. I'll be honest, I haven't got it in me today to draw the landscape. I am so worn out, and I had an awful night. I don't know what is going on. So many things to consider. And then you know what it's like. You wake up in the middle of the night, you fall asleep because you're knackered, and then you wake up in the middle of the night, and then they all start talking to you, you know. And last night at 3 o'clock in the morning, they all came to the party. And as if the room wasn't full enough, then the next lot rocked up. And so by 4 o'clock, I was having a full-blown panic attack, trying to be quiet, you know, not enjoyable at all. So today, bear with me, okay? I'm struggling with my demons here. Be all right, though. It's to do with tiredness. It's to do with exhaustion. That's all. But I can show you how to do a really nice landscape with a spot-on sponge, a couple of ink pads, and a bit of masking tape. I think that I feel motivated enough to do. All right? So let's have a look here. So we've got our picture. We've got our clean piece of paper. Now, let's see. I've already done this once because I flipped it over and I've already transferred it this way round. So let me flip it back that way. All you've got to do is flip it, right? So that the lead, whichever side your lead is on, is the right side. So I drew it like that, and then I flipped it over and I transferred it. My guess is that there's lead on this side, so I should be able to flip it back. Let's just see on a bit of copy paper, just to see. I need an HB pencil or a pencil to do this. H, a bit hard. Now, where's that pencil I was using earlier? Bear with me a moment. I had it. That'll do, HB. Right, let me just check on a piece of copy paper to see if I go on this side, whether there's, yeah, see, there's enough. That's all I need. Excellent. Should we give it a go then? So that's my picture. I know where I'm going to put it bang in the middle, like that, so that, I'll tell you what I'm going to do. So, because I've got a bit of a lip here, I'm going to cut that lip off. I don't need it. Okay, I'll just cut this off because it's hanging over the side of the table and I'm going to catch it on my shirt. So let's take that off. There we go. That'll work. There, that's much better. See, now it's within the size of the, there, like that. And it's bang in the middle. And I've got enough room to use my low tack tape. You're going to get sick of me saying it, which is also in the sale. Anything that you use loads, we've included in the sale. Now let's have a look. Cool. So we'll tape it at the top. I'll leave a hinge here so I can make sure that it's working. Okay. And then what I'm going to do is turn it on its side. I'm gonna just go. I've got so much gear going on in it. Right. So I can turn it. Right. And I'm going to just start adding the shape to the card. Now let's just make sure. Yeah. See? Oh, sorry, friends. Right. See? Oh. Anyway, listen. It works. Okay. Just transfer it. If you want to use a ruler, feel free. But we're just going to transfer the lines like this. And then we'll figure out how to mask them. Okay? That'd be right. Let's just make sure it's working. Excuse me if it... Yeah, I can see it. Okay. And so we'll just transfer the lead or the graphite to the card we're using. And then we'll take it from there. So I've done that sleeve, if I'm not mistaken. Let me just lift it up and hope that I don't freak you out. That's it. Okay, and then we'll do the waist. And what we'll do is, just as I did in this one, okay, we'll just do one section at a time. Because I just wanted to make sure that what I had in my mind's eye was actually going to work. And I think it will. Good morning, Kimono Ken. Right, let's have a look. Okay, so just bring this down like so. So the retreats are next week. I'm really glad that I'm ahead of the game on the retreats. We've got some really nice projects to do. So that's 4 days of next week. So on Monday we won't have a retreat. Actually, sorry, a retreat, rubbish. We won't have the SHAC next week because I'll be at the retreat on Monday setting up, and then it runs Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. So there won't be a SHAC at all next week, I'm afraid. Apologies, but I can't do it all. And I'm really looking forward to the retreat. I think it'd be great. There's still a couple of spaces left if you wanted to join in last minute. I think the first 2 days are sold out completely, but I think there are still a couple of seats available on the last two, the Thursday and the Friday. Is that right, Paul? Right, so I've got my kimono. That looks lovely, doesn't it? Okay, so we'll lift that off because that's our template, and that's also going to be what we use for our design, see, when we draw over the top of our... So bearing in mind, this could either be, this is really the best part of it, because this could be, if you want it to be, it could be the kimono, like a beautiful silk. You could put a little bird in the sky, done, right? Or we could do a second kimono, or we could fuse them. So in other words, you could do one really lovely, colourful one like this, little piece at a time, yeah, just with sponges and ink and maybe a couple of little elements. Or we could put a full-blown cherry blossom over the top. If you're going to do that, though, then you probably want to keep the background quite light, don't you? Yeah. For me, I'm quite looking forward to just doing a beautiful silk kimono without too much picture work on it, if you know what I mean. Does that make sense? I think it'd be really nice. It's quite relaxing, and it's going to be easy. Easy to get a great result. So if we've got our shape, I'm not going to add any more pencil to that. I don't need to make the outline darker than that. It's enough. Can you see it? Can you see what I'm doing? Do I have to just reinforce the lines a little bit, maybe? Let me know. But I can pretty much see what I've got here. I can see it. I just wonder if you can. Paul, could you give me a clue? We can see it. Thank you. So in that case, let's start over on this. So you definitely need your low-tack tape for this one. And what we're going to do, it's all about the masking. Do you remember on telly yesterday I was saying as well, it's a lot of the prep work. You know, when I was doing that landscape within the leaf, it's easier because, of course, we've got the masks. So that makes it a lot easier. Especially the leaves have got quite, you know, that's the magic of the mask, the clarity mask, is that they're cut to fit quite intricate shapes, aren't they? This is easy to mask off. So let's have a look. Let's just focus on one piece at a time. All I'm going to look at is this sleeve. Let's do the sleeve. So we're going to use masking tape to mask off these areas. And I've got a pair of scissors as well, so we can do that. Right, so let's just use a bit of masking tape. And let's just use, yeah. And if it's not exactly straight, your line, don't worry about it. The ink is going to be, okay? Do this little bottom bit like that. Okay. Right, so we're just masking off this area. Now let's have a look. I want to go this bit here. So I'm going to go from there to there. So I've got a bit of a curve on there. So if I wanted to put a curve in, let me see if I can show you this. So if I want to put a curve on there, I'll roll in with the masking tape like that. And then when it starts to curve, I'm just going to keep my finger like that. See, you can, and then you squeeze it down and you're going in a kind of a curve. You see that? So if you hold that thought, we can do, this has got a bit of a curve on it as well. So you've got choices. You can either do that trick or you could just cut. So that's got a bit of a curve there. So if I wanted to, let's see what's the worst that can happen? You throw a bit of masking tape away. See, I could cut a curve like that. There you go. And I could cut it like that as well. Choices, choices, choices. Right, so if I do that, let's have a look at what I've masked off. Let's check that I've masked what I want to mask. See, so I've got a line here. I've done that wrong. That's okay. That's what we're checking, isn't it? That's why we're checking. So I need to lift this up, and this bit here needs to be cut. See? That bit there. Because I want to come in there, don't I? So I can cut that away. Let's just cut it away. Let's have a look. So you could do this, look, because mask, right, okay, mask material is quite translucent. Masking tape is translucent. So you could draw over the bit you want to cut out, lift it up, cut it off. God, I'm turning into a painter and decorator here. Right, so we'll cut that off like that, lay that back down, and it's exactly where it's supposed to be. All right? So that's another tip. Okay, so now we've got this bit. We want to make sure, though, that when we get excited and we start wielding our brushes, that we don't spoil all this, right? So we've got choices now, and we can use pieces of copy paper. Sorry. Let me just cut it. Let me look at me while I cut it, okay? So that I don't get that wow thing going on. And all I'm going to do now is cover up the areas, right? Let's have a look. So I'll cover up the areas that I don't want to use. So that's quite straightforward, isn't it? you can take a piece of masking tape. Oh, excuse me. It's like a little surgery, really. Take a bit of masking tape like that. Hold it on there like so. And then all you're going to do is just cover up. Just use your masking tape. There you go. So that covers up that area there. Yeah. And then this one, I can cover up this area here. Do you see what I'm doing? Bit of masking tape there. I mean, I know it's a job, but it's all right. It's not hard, is it? Right, do a bit there. So we'll cut a piece of that there. See, and the thing is, because we're doing two sides, everything that I do on this side, I can just echo on the other side, can't I? But it's a good way to protect your artwork, your canvas, if you like. Right, and then the last piece is this little bit here, which we're just going to use that for. All right, and so that it's all not too big, I'm just cutting one piece of copper paper fits all. There you go. So pop that there like that. And then that way, I mean, I don't go mad with the brushes anyway, because I'm aware of there. So all that was to create this bit here, bearing in mind that I've still got a little bit there as well. So I don't want to spoil it. Let's give it a go. Now I'm aware that I just want to keep the colour in this area here. Okay, so now I've done that. Yeah. The next thing to do is work out the hills. So I've got choices. I can, oh, and I need a moon, right? So I've got the moon masks, and then I've got the hill masks, if I want to use the masks, and I can tear the mask. Now let me show you the advantage / disadvantage. Advantage of using paper masks, you can change the shape, and it's cheaper, right? Disadvantage of using paper masks is that it drags a bit. You'll see. So let's say, for example, I'm gonna make masks and I'm gonna make hills. I don't want them to be too big, so I'm only in a right. I'm making hills like this, right? Different hills. Okay. So I've got those hills and I've got those hills, right? Torn. If I'm not keen on them, I can tear more. That's it, isn't it? So I can go up, down, do a few more like that. Okay, try it that way. There's another option, right? So I've got those options as well. So let's say, for example, I'm going to pop a moon in. So I'll start with my moon, and I could put moon in there. Oh, maybe a little bit larger one, like that. Of course, it's very loud downstairs, isn't it? What's going on down there? Right, so we've got the moon there. And now we're going to start adding our hills. So we'll start at the bottom in the darkest area. So let's say, for example, I'm going to use, let's use the paper mask, and then we can go from there. So we're starting at the bottom, but of course we need to decide what colours to use. So I brought some inks, which are also in the sale. I brought some inks. Oh, and the sponges are also in the sale. And we could decide which colours we want to use. So I just brought a selection of what I consider to be, so a kind of, you can see where we're going with this, right? A sort of a bluey colour, grey colour, and a pinky colour. And now you can decide. So, for example, those two look good together. 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 Right, so you've got a blue and a pink going on. And that kind of gives you that real Japanesey look. It really does. You'd be surprised. So I'm going to go with weathered wood, and then see the weathered wood would go with that one, or that one. I'm going tattered rose because I just know it works. Right. So I've got my two colours, and the weathered wood is the one that gives you that kind of grey blue kimono colour. Okay. Yeah. Let's have a look. So we've got a spot on sponge now. And this is the one I used earlier. So we make a mushroom like that. And then we'll have a look. So we'll see how much ink. See, it's quite dark, isn't it? So we're going to go quite dark, let's say in the corner. Let's go in the corner just so that we see it. So all the time you're just pouncing, if you like that. It's quite dark, isn't it? And you can control how much you use as well. See? So, and when you've got lots of ink, you get quite really nice texture as well. Let's see what we've got here. It's coming a bit tighter, shall we? Okay. So now let's see if we go to the hill. Now, my thoughts on this are, I hold while I work, but perhaps when you're doing this, so that it doesn't move while you're working, you can use, you need to kind of tape it down. So now I know that this won't move while I'm working on it. If I were using a hill like that, then it certainly wouldn't move because the mask stays in place, right? So we know that too. So let's have a look what's going on here. You can always add it, but you can't take it away, okay? So let's see, if I sweep down, see this is very porous. So as I sweep down, it's not giving me a lot, do you see? So I've got to kind of sweep and press quite hard to get that edge. Let's have another look, like that. So if I want it to be darker, I've got to go quite a few times because most of the ink stays here. If I was using a mask, and am I trying to sell you masks? No, I'm just trying to explain the difference between masks, and I'll show you the difference and you will get it, right? Let me show you. If, for example, we take, let's just move all this out of the way and let's try something else. This time, let's pretend this is the sleeve. Okay, that's the side of the sleeve. There's the bottom of the sleeve. Let's just give it a go. Let's pretend we're sort of in the same zone here. There you go. That's the bottom of the sleeve. Same sort of area as we've just done. Okay, so back to square one. Let's do a little test. If I go in on here and I bring it through, right, obviously you'll see that the masking tape is also quite porous, right? So you have to press quite hard. Now this time, let's use a mask just to show you the difference. If I take a mask, all right, let's use this side of the mask. Bear with me a minute. If I come in here and I use this side of the mask, okay. So this time, which bit shall I use? I'll use this bit here at the bottom, like that. Okay, so that's the thing, you've got loads of detail on this, isn't it? So for smaller areas. Now if I put that on there, see how it sweeps off. So whatever I load onto here, when I do that, it sweeps straight off. Like that. Whereas if I do it onto, see, and the other good thing is when I come off, it doesn't take the existing masking tape with it, so I can go like that. Then I can move it along a little bit, show another. See, you could do that as well. Don't get me wrong. There is lots and lots of options here. So you could go like that, right? Straight one. See, it just sweeps off. So as it goes higher, you don't re-ink. So you know, it's 6 of one, half a dozen of the other. You get where I'm coming from here, yeah? So masks are a winner in that the ink is all on here, and then you just start. As soon as you start using paper, you'll find that you need a lot more ink. There's a lot more pull involved. It absorbs. The paper absorbs. And then when I take this away, look, it's really nice there. So that's the bottom line with the mask. So you can mix it up as well. That's the other thing you can do, is use a little bit of, you know, if you haven't got, well, you could use masks, you can use paper, you could put clouds in. The clouds are really good to have the masks. Just saying. Okay, now let's keep going. So I've got my paper here and I've done that bit. Then I'll lift that off, and then let's say I want to do another piece of, let's go again with the paper. just do a bit of paper again. I think I want a different, I want that bit there. That bit there be good. So let's go again. And then we're just going to sweep in. I've got to be honest, once you've used the masks, this is a bit of a chore. But it works. It works. Okay, friends? So in the retreat next week, we're doing, we're not doing groovy. Remember I mentioned it. We're going to do that collage, the paper collage instead. So there's been a lot of interest around that. And several of you asked if I would do, show you how to do it. But the thing is, you see, the guests that come on the retreat, they pay a considerable sum of money to come on the retreats. It's very exclusive and it's very, you know, I've been doing it for many, many years. Once a year, this is what we do. Let's have a look. So I had to think about that, and I thought, well, I've come up with an idea, and I hope that you're on board with this. I thought I would do some online classes, but paid online classes, and that won't affect the SHAC. It won't affect what we do here. There you go. That looks quite good. It won't affect what we do here. We'll always meet on a Monday, and it will always be free because this is our community. This is we're the SHACers. But there comes a point in life where you have to just accept, I'm not going to be able to, I can't do the exhibitions anymore because it's just too hard on Dave and me, right? So we're not doing that anymore. And things are changing, you know, and you've got to kind of prepare, haven't you? You've got to get ahead of the game, really. And so I was thinking, well, still got to make ends meet. That looks nice. See, when you make it look misty like that, that looks pretty cool. So now we'll lean a little bit more with the ink on that side, yeah? So what I'm saying is, you know, you've got to get a kind of ahead of the game. I'm 65 now, and I've got to start thinking ahead. If I want to keep the old Clarity barge going, right, I've got to think ahead. And I'm thinking, right, okay, what about paid online workshops? Not all the time, just when I've got something worth showing, okay? And then I think that'd be quite cool. Let's have a look at where I want to put this hill. I think I want to put one more up there, like that. Nice. And then we'll do, well, I think it would be quite cool. And then what I was thinking, what triggered it was this collage, paper collage, because I thought, well, if we're going to go and do one in the retreat, and a lot of friends, you know, because there's a lot of people like our friend Andrea in Michigan and that, they're never going to be able to come on the retreat, but I bet they want to know how to do it as well. So I was thinking, right, so it makes sense for friends abroad, for example, in Australia or Canada or the States, right? If we time it right, we could do a live session, like proper workshop craft along, right? And then I could do a pre-record so that even if you can't make it on the day, even if you this looks good, doesn't it? Even if you can't make it on the day, say you're in Australia, say we start at 1 o'clock in the afternoon. So 1 o'clock in the afternoon, 1:30, that'll be okay for our American friends on the East Coast. For the ones on the West Coast, it's a little bit, you know, it's a little bit early. Okay. So maybe they'll settle for just, they'll get access to a pre-recorded demonstration, full length, like a video, like the old days with the DVDs, right? So we could do that. And then, yeah, so there's loads of really cool ways. We're looking at different platforms. We've got one teed up, which I reckon is going to be very, very, very good to use. So I'm just putting some colour there through that mask now, through the moon, get the moon in place. Okay. Right, so we've done everything with the sponge so far. Anyway, so that's the way it works, and we've looked at where we're going to do it. We think by the time, you know, with this idea that I've got, by the time, you know, we get the platform sorted out, and September is wedding month for us because we're going to California because our Mark's getting married. So I don't really want to put more pressure. We've got TV. We've got the retreats next week. Then we're going up to Top Drawer, big exhibition up there, only to walk the floor, but that's enough. You know, then we're going to September. We get into September now. When we get into September, we've got the wedding in California, so we're traveling there. Then Grace's best friend's getting married in the Lake District, so we come straight back from California, go straight back up to the Lake District to another wedding. Wouldn't miss that for the world. So it's like, you know, you're looking at the time and you've got all the TV commitments at the same time. So really, this first online workshop that I'm discussing is going to be October. But that's okay, because it will give us plenty of time. If you register your interest, we've got to get the product sorted out. We've got to get the platform sorted out. But I already know what we're doing, right? And then we'll send you the product. So you've got, you know exactly, you've got everything in front of you that you need, plus a little list. You don't need lots for this, but a pair of scissors, you know, the Pritt sticks, the stuff that I use, right? Those bits, you'll have them ready. So I'll give you a list of ingredients that you need to gather up, cheap as chips, that stuff. We'll make sure you get the papers, the canvas board and what have you. It doesn't matter where you live in the world. We'll make sure we get that sent to you in good time, you know. And then we've got a date. And then we get together and we can have breaks. For me, what's important is that we find a really cool platform where we can hang out, we can take breaks, we've got a hub, like not a Facebook group, but something a little bit more intimate that's just for the people that have signed up for the workshop, where they can go and they can show their findings, chat to fellow course attendees, you know, make new friends, hang out together, discuss their findings, tricks and tips. There'll be us tutors in there as well. You know, I think it'll be something different, and it's going to be paid for, you know. There you go. That's it. And I know what you're thinking. How much? I'm still working on that. But so now let's have a look at the colours. So the colours, we've got all the blues in place. We could now let's have a look at these brushes. So we've got the pink as well, and we've got the blue, right? And I would say that let's just see what happens if we dust some pink into this area. See, that's the good thing about having the masks everywhere. Let's just dust some pink into that sleeve. So this area here, because this is that part of the kimono, isn't it? Right? So let's see what we've got here. It's quite nice. So we could dust a bit of pink through that whole area. Let's do it. I'm going to stand up for this actually, so I can see better what I'm doing. And then while I'm standing up, I'm going to show you which collage I was thinking of doing. So there's no point in repeating the same collage that we're going to do in the retreat, which is, let's call it the starting out one. Okay, I might do a module for that later on. Cool, this looks good. Look at these colors. See, when you put the pink over the top, it's really lovely. And because we're using a brush, it's quite mottled. Look, doesn't that look nice? There we go. Have a look. So I was thinking, right, I've got the artwork here to show you. Let me just see. I wasn't going to tell you about this, but now I'm here. I'm going to. So this is the one. Let me show you. This is the one that we're doing in the retreat. You saw that one. This is the one that sparked all the interest. Okay, so you can see it's quite large. It's a 12 by 12 canvas board, and the inside is 8 by 8. So this was the one that we're going to do in the retreat. It's like, let's call it the Mark 1, okay? And then I thought, well, they won't want to, because a lot of people that do this, once you get the bug, it's very addictive. And you think, even if you know, you've got the knowledge of how to do it, you want the next one. Because that's the other thing that we'll send you. When we send you the material, we'll also send you the template, the design, the layout template. So you know exactly where the hills are. Because whilst it might be easy enough for me to work out landscapes like that, it's, you know, I can't assume that everybody's going to know how to put the curves in and the hills and that, right? So So that's the one that we're doing in the workshop. Let me pan out a little bit so that you can see it better, right? And the one I'm going to go for in October, look, see, so two's a pair here. Check it out. So the one I want to do in October is the lighthouse, right? So that one, let's go back to this one, Mark 1, right? Mark 2. This is the retreat one. This is the online course one. So that means that our friends abroad or people that get the bug for this one, they can come and do this one with me. And if you really, really love doing this, right, do you want to see Mark 3? Right, no one's seen this one yet. I'll show you Mark 3. Right, you ready? I know, I'm working ahead of myself. So online course, numero dos, is this one. So this is quite advanced, okay? So what we're looking at here, and this is why it's occurred to me, this makes complete sense. Starting out, intermediate, advanced. You can see, look, but they make really, really nice, a really lovely trilogy. So if you're interested in the trilogy, then this will be the next online workshop. And I'll put a couple of months between them, you know, so that people can catch up. But I was thinking that this would be good. And I'll tell you what, my cost for this, and that will include the materials, sending you the materials, the knowledge, the tuition, the live session with the questions and answers, and also the pre-recorded download for you. Also the platform where you can hang out with your fellow course friends, right, etc., etc. So to be part of that kind of inner circle, that group, that first course will cost £65. If you're a club member, you get discount. If you always get points, you know, so you get points on that and you get your club discount. So that includes everything. I think it's reasonable. There you go, I said it. See, for me, it doesn't come naturally to charge because I'm always, we do this for free. So for me to talk money when it comes to tuition, although the retreats, it's comparative to a retreat, but with more, it's more user-friendly in as much as people don't have to come to me. I'm coming to you, you know. And also the platform, you know, the subscription for the platform. The one thing I will say is the platform that we're going to use, they have different tariffs. And the tariff that we've gone for can only take 100 people. That's it. So 100 people will do their course, 100 people will get the knowledge, 100 people will complete, because that's the whole point of this. You will completely complete one of those canvases, right? That's the objective here, is to learn how to do it and to actually have one finished. Okay, we'll do it together. And then that 100, so those 100 people have got that project, then that's gone and it's done. It's not somewhere for everybody else to gain access to. It's just for the 100 people that paid the premium to do it, you see? And then a couple of months later, if people come again, there'll be another 100. You see, the thing is, the tariffs change on the platform. If we get hundreds of people coming, it doesn't affect you, the person at home, but it certainly affects the tariff that I have to pay. So I'm hedging my bets a little bit. I think 100 is a little bit ambitious, but it's either 20 or 100. So I thought, we'll go for 100, you see? I know, being in business isn't easy. Choices, choices, choices. So when is it available? That'll be your next question. We're working on it at the moment. We'll get the product teed up. We'll make sure that you get all your passwords so you get access to this special place. There's no rush because we're only in August now, but I reckon it will be October, beginning of October when we get together. Put it in your diary. I've got the 12th of October in my diary. Okay, that's my That's the date that I've got, hopefully. Not confirmed, but that's the date I'm hoping to get this done. It'll be a Saturday. It'll be an October the 12th, if I'm not mistaken. And we'll tee it off, the live session at 1:30. Okay? So there you go. I can't give you more warning than that. Okay. Back to the kimono. But like I say, it feels a bit alien to me to be charging a fee, but I know the costs involved. I know how much this all costs, you know, so it's realistic. It's not greedy, it's real. And it's that, it's, you know, you're always saying, slow down, Barb. This is my way of keeping going. It's like, don't work so hard, work a bit smarter. You know that thing? And there you go. So this is the beginning. This could be the beginning of something brilliant, or it might just be, it might not work. People might not want to pay. People might just always want it for free. You know, I'm just about to find out, aren't I? Now, so back to this. Let's have a look. If we've done as much as we want to do, right, this is the point at which if you had stamps, you could put stamps in, see, because it's all covered up, masked, right? But you can see, should we take a look at what it looks like when we unveil it? Let's have a look. Because all these bits, right, all this stuff, all this masking tape, all these masks, extensions, let's call them mask extensions, all this stuff, right, really can be used when we do the next side. But look what a lovely effect this gets. And if you feel when you do this, you think, oh, actually, I wish I'd gone a bit darker. Well, all you got to do is put the mask back. Just make sure it's in the right. Look at that lovely curve on that, sexy. Hey? And then just take the mask off. Low tack mask. And I'm always banging on about how good our low tack masking tape is. It really is. Look, it doesn't bleed. You get a complete seal with the ink, and it doesn't take the card with it. Let's have a look. We take that away there. We've got what a lovely design this is. Hey? And we'll take the moon off like that. There you go. I feel quite invigorated now. And once you've done one side, all you've got to do is do the other side. And then you work your way around. This is going to be really nice, isn't it? Hey? What do you think? Just go in a bit closer and enjoy it. So this side, this was using paper, nothing else. I'm not even using the bought masks. There you go. Doesn't that look good? So I've done that one. That was the one I did before you got here, just because I wanted to see if it worked. Bus driver, getting ahead of the game. This one looks like it's got a tiny little nipple on it, look. Now all you can see is a mammary with a little nipple on it. Now let me just reframe that for you. That little nipple is a temple. Hey? I know. I tell you what, we are going to have a good time in our little private tutorial. We're going to have a good time in the private class. I quite like the idea of having it closed, like closed shop, so you know exactly who's in the building. You know, I like that idea. It's like proper, isn't it? Like with the SHAC, I don't know who's watching. I have no idea. You know, I can see I know who's interacting, but I don't know who else is watching. No idea. You know, but when you do a paid online class like that, then you've got a list. You know who your guests are. You know who's coming to the party. And I think I could get quite comfortable with that idea. You know, same as I know when I looked at the attendance list for who's coming next week. It's like, yes, they're all my mates. We've been getting together every summer for God knows how many years, you know, and it's going to be really cool to see them. Yeah. So let's get back to this. And now we'll leave the one with the little temple on the top of the mountain, right? And now we just do the next side. So you can do this side and you could continue, or you could do a mirror, couldn't you? What do you think? What are we doing? Either way, whatever we do, we've got to certainly mask it off, haven't we? So again, I'll go this way. We'll just start. We could use the same masking tape, said Mrs. Frugal. There we go. So while we're doing this, I mean, the masking tape's not expensive, is it? What I would say is there are a few things worth telling you about this week. It's a very Pergamano week, groovy week. Paul's, yeah, oh yeah. So Paul, where are we going here? Oh yeah, there we go. That'll do. Paul's doing an ODS, so he trundles back up to the TV tomorrow, and he's going to do, I don't think, are we doing Groovy Tuesday? I don't imagine that you're doing Groovy Tuesday if you've got an ODS. I can't imagine Paul's doing no, he's not doing Groovy Tuesday. And if he says he is, I'm going to tell him he's not. So he starts the ODS on Tuesday night. At 6 o'clock. And do you remember when we did those? We drew them in the shack. Remember the wooden toys? No Groovy Tuesday until after the retreats. Thank you, Paul. I thought it was a bit. I thought I was the only nutter in the building. Right. I am, clearly. So what I was going to say, let me just make sure I'm covering up the right bit. Okay. So this is the sleeve. Paul's launching. Do you remember when we... Sorry, let me gather my thoughts. Paul's launching those beautiful toys. Do you remember when we did... we drew the shape and then we put the little scenes. It's all about the landscapes and the little scene building. We put the little scenes underneath the deer. They're like wooden toys. And we launched the stamps a couple of months ago. And now we're launching the equivalent in the Groovy. They're fabulous. And there's a really, really cool plate mate to go with it. It's superb. So I think you'll be, if you're into Groovy, brace yourself, Rodney, because this is going to be a real popular one, I think. And then, so Paul's doing that on Tuesday. Starts the launches at 6 o'clock in the evening. Then we've got 9 o'clock in the evening for his sins. And I'm going to cover that bit up there like that. 9 o'clock in the evening. Then the following day, which is Wednesday, 10 o'clock and 2 o'clock. And if I'm not mistaken, he's even volunteered to do an extra hour at 5 o'clock on the Wednesday. So he'll be on telly doing primarily Groovy, unless it sells out, in which case he's got to switch to the stamps. Because we've made a few of those as well again for the show. Yeah, so it's going to be cool. Eye on them the hills. So that's what Paul's doing. And then, let's have a look. What have I got here? Yeah, it's just that bit up the top, isn't it? I could do that with that. Oh, I know what I'm doing. Right, okay. So do you think I want to put another moon here, or will that look a little bit too symmetrical? Let's start with the hills down here. We can go from there, can't we? Let's do the hills. So I'm back to this colour. I reckon it's going to look absolutely gorgeous. But I've got to go, if I'm doing paper hills on this side, I've got to stick to paper hills on that side. Or it's going to look like a machine sewn stitch, you know, look weird. So let's have a look. We've got these, we've got that, we've got that. Make sure you're on the, you know that this is part of the, why do I think I'm going to do this? Because I'm tired, that's why. Yeah, so Paul's doing that, which would be really cool. And then on Thursday, Jane, she's got the Pergamano show as well, as if that weren't enough. I've got plenty of moons, Paul. So Jane will be on telly at 11 o'clock in the morning and 3 o'clock in the afternoon. There we go. So that'll be excellent. She always does some fantastic demonstrations, you know. So get on board with Jane on Thursday. So that's it really, you know, and then we're going to be all systems go here, getting ready to welcome our friends. Now I just want to make sure that I don't get a complete mirror, because that will look a bit weird, right? So I'll never get a complete mirror. Let's have a look. Let's do this. Shall I do that? Well, I know I could always do it like that, and then I know it's not going to be the same because it's a different hill. Yeah, that'll be a good one. Right, so darker to the bottom. Yeah, we agree, don't we? Might want to tape it in place so that it stays in place. I'm holding it though. That's it. Okay. There we go. And then let's go to that one now. I've got lots of different hills going on here. Don't want to make it too dark, because otherwise it will be too dark on one side and not dark enough on the other side. So I want to just check that I've got the same amount of ink, amount of ink basically on both sides. Let's have a little look. Yeah, so watch this space. I'll keep you abreast of what's going on with the paid online workshops. I think it will be good to do. Yeah, this will work. Yeah. I'm looking forward to it myself. I think that there is people want to know how to make these collages, and it's a new technique that I've developed myself, and I see it as an opportunity to get together in a more involved and intimate kind of group and build on it. You know, it's a building game. I think so. And it gives friends that are further afield in the States, and maybe even not even in the States, but just not able to attend workshops, you know, but they want to learn this stuff and they want to be part of a bigger group and something exciting like this. I think I may not worry about the moon. I think I'm going to stick to one on that side, but not on that side. Okay. Let's have a look. What am I doing here? I'm just looking at what I've done there to get a bit of balance. That'll work. And then I'm going to put one lovely, great big mountain like that there. Okay. Sweep that one down. It's quite misty, this one, because it's right up in the gods. Okay. So, you know, if you wanted it to be really misty, then the trick is to just maybe use a brush even. Even that would work, probably. If you do a brush, that'll probably do it. To make it really misty, rather than... Have a look. See? So it looks really Japanesey, doesn't it? Feeling Japanesey, if you pleasey. There. So, and then once we've done that, we can always go back and add. Trouble is with this sort of mask, it's quite difficult to relocate. You know what I mean? So we're just going to have to go with it now. Just add a bit of blue into the sweep, sweep, sweep like that. That'll do. Right, done it. And now I'm going in with the... I want to get this done before we call it a day. So if you are coming on the retreats next week, I can't wait to see you. It's going to be really cool. If you do want to get involved in the new paid online scheme, you know, the workshops, then watch this space. I reckon by the end of this week we'll have a plan, if not this week, next week. Just take it from there. We'll take it from there. And in the meantime, you know, and the other thing is, it's not going to affect what we do. It's not going to affect the SHAC. It's not going to affect what we do anyway, our craft alongs and that. No. It's just changing things up a little bit. So there's a little bit more longevity for me in the game. That's all I'm doing. And it's not that I'm not surrendering. I'm just accepting, you know, I know that I can't keep up this pace. Of course I can't. Nobody could. Let's have a look. It's a bit darker that side. Oh, do you know what I think? I think I might have masked it wrong. Oh, Barbara, you knob. It's all right. Let's have a look what I've done. Look, see, I went in on that one, and on that one I went straight down. But it's never too late. You fool! See, on that one, it needs to go like that. Let's take that off there a minute. Oh, I'll sort it out. Look. So now that's like that and that's like that. But we've got this bit here. I wonder, before I go and bodge it, probably I need to look at what I've done and then check it out, don't I? So, note to self, check your masking before you start. And the best part of it is, this is the best part of it. All it is a little bit of card. It's not, you know, it's a learning curve. There you go. This might look good. I might say, that's exactly what you need to do because it looks like the sleeve. You ready? Shall we have a look? You watch in a minute. I'll go, yeah, I did it deliberately. Let's see, let's see, let's see, let's see. And then I'm going to wish you a happy, happy week. Enjoy your week. And don't forget to tune in to Paul. Yeah, do you know what? It doesn't look bad at all. See? Bit of a fold. And then we could do the bit in the middle. We do that bit. Got a little bit of ink on there. But you see, this looks quite nice. I like this whole idea. Maybe it could have been a little bit lighter in there. But then, you see, look, you've already got a little bird in the distance. You could put a couple of birds in there. When are we going to hang out again together? Thursday. If you're up for it, I'll see you on Thursday at 7 o'clock in the evening, and we'll keep going, okay? Because bearing in mind, well, this just became the background, okay? This is Mark II. This just became the background because there's a little bit of a flaw. There's a little bit of a flaw. And I mean F-L-A-W, not F-L-O-O-R. So have a fabulous week. Thanks for joining me. It's good to have your company.